Jonathan, let's talk about tech history.
All right, this week we're covering August 16th through the 22nd. Let's start off with August 16th, the first Internet Explorer.
The first Internet Explorer. This was a modified version of Spyglass Mosaic. So Mosaic was like an open source version of a browser, or maybe it was supposed to be like a standard. I forget exactly, but they licensed it to Microsoft, and then they modified it, and they came up with Internet Explorer. Oh, look at this, man! Microsoft has just been sued left and right. Spyglass sued Microsoft for not paying what they felt were the proper royalties. Microsoft settled for $8 million.
Wow.
That by 1995, that was a drop in the bucket for them. It really was.
That's crazy.
That was like, 8 million. Yeah, offer them 8 million, see what they say. You had this organization that was probably getting about $1,000 a month. They're like, 8 million? Yeah, we'll take it. Internet Explorer, man, it was one of the worst browsers. If you were a web developer between 1997 and I want to say 2011, 2012, right in that era, it was the worst time for you to be a web developer, because every browser had their own flavor of JavaScript. HTML tags weren't consistent how they behaved across browsers, and cascading style sheets, the same thing. CSS, you weren't guaranteed that they were going to work across browsers. So you had to use like detection. It's like, okay, am I in Internet Explorer? Am I in Firefox? Am I in Safari? And depending on which one you're using would depend on how you would render HTML, your CSS, or how the JavaScript would be programmed.
Wow.
So yeah. And then finally, like around 2011, 2012, the W3C, which is the World Wide Web Consortium, they started coming up with standards and say, hey, look, this is the command, this is what it does, don't deviate, make it easier for the developers. But that's when jQuery, jQuery was this library which you just had to issue one command to jQuery, and jQuery would go and determine what browser it was using, and it would run the appropriate command for the JavaScript. So it was only for JavaScript, though. You still had to do your CSS and all that stuff on your own, and HTML on your own. So Internet Explorer caused havoc on developers.
Yeah. All right, next up, we have August 16th, the first music CD.
August 17th, you mean?
17.
I remember this. When these CDs came out, people, they promised all this. It's kind of funny that they use ABBA as their as their opening band to introduce CDs.
Yeah.
They promise people like all this quality, but then sound experts, or what they called, what do they call them? They call them audiopedia or something. I mean, these are people that just take audio.
Oh yeah, it's like a audio fight or something like that.
Audiophile.
There you go.
Yeah. So I mean, these are people that take an obsession to how audio should sound, and they said, yeah, no, CDs don't give you the best quality. You still need an equalizer. You still need a sound booster. You still need all this stuff. To me, they sounded pretty good. I mean, it wasn't, and they were expensive. I mean, they were probably like $12, $15. So 1982, $12, $15 was pretty expensive. And that was a lot of money. Now
Yeah.
it may not seem because that's minimum wage, but it was really expensive. And you took care of these things like they were gold because you didn't want to scratch them. You didn't want to, like, mess them up or anything. But, oh, and the other thing was because they were compact disc. So if you take the word compact, now the stores are like, well, wait a second. This is compact, which means that it can easily fit into pockets and they're going to get stolen. So they would make these packages that were like 3-4 times the size of the CD. So the reason they were actually cheaper to produce, but because you had to produce the packaging, which was like 3-4 times its size, you were paying the $12 to $15 because of the large packaging that you had to provide. So really you were paying for the packaging so that you wouldn't steal it, instead of just, planning the store and selling it differently, rather than just putting it out there. But I remember when these came out. It was kind of cool.
Cool. Next up, we have August 19th, Google's IPO.
Google IPO. What you know what IPO stands for?
Well, it says right there, initial public offering.
Yeah. But you know what that means?
Oh yeah, once they go up to the stock market.
Once they go public.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they go public. This is the initial public offering. So it sold 22 million shares starting at the price of $85.
Wow.
So this was 2004. What is Google stock price? Dang. If you bought one, you would be $2,600 rich right now.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy. At the end of the day, it closed at $100.
That's pretty good in one day.
Yeah. But man, if you held on to it, look what it's worth right now. That is crazy. And it went up $91.
Today.
No, Friday.
Oh yeah.
The 23rd. Which is only 3%. Dang it. 2004. Yeah, no. I was working to buy you shoes. That's, how old were you? 2004.
2004.
10 years old? 11 years old?
10.
11?
11. Yeah, 11.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were growing too fast. I couldn't keep up with your clothes size. It seemed like every 3 months, like, my shoes don't fit me anymore. My pants are too tight. My shirt showing my belly button. Yeah, look at this. That's crazy. That's cool.
All right. Next up, we have August 21st. Mars rover lost.
They lost. How much did this Mars rover cost? Can you imagine? Like, Mom, Dad, I just lost $1 million. What?
What?
I want to see how much this cost. It was only $813 million. So in 1993, when they lost the Mars observer, they lost $113 million.
Wow.
What would you do with $113 million, Jonathan?
I would build my own rover, Mars rover or Mars observer.
And then lose it, huh?
And then yeah, probably lose it or something.
Yeah, so they're thinking that the reason it stopped working was because the fuel tank ruptured. But I mean, how long did they expect the fuel to last?
Yeah, it's supposed to be solar powered, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder why it had a fuel tank.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Last but not least, we have August 22nd. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. What is that? Oh, Zelda.
Zelda. The Legend of Zelda. Did you play this game?
I had it for my Game Boy, not for the NES though. That's pretty cool. It how it had a gold cassette or
Cartridge.
cartridge. Yeah.
Why was it considered the most influential game of all time?
It was the first role-playing game.
What was the story?
So you had to pretty much like any game really, you just had to save the princess and defeat all the bad people, collect all the coins or whatever.
Like in Mario?
Yeah, like in Mario, but like a more role playing. You just get to move around and do whatever you want.
Interesting. And they all came in gold?
No, just the first release, I guess. Or maybe no. Actually, I remember the Game Boy one being gold too. Yeah.
Did you still have to blow in the cartridge to make it work?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it wouldn't be Nintendo if it didn't do that, right?
Yeah.
And so in your Game Boy, you had the whole storyline, just like you had it in the NES?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't think I ever played. I think the last, it wasn't even role play. It was more strategic. Oh man, what was the name of it? World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
That was the last game that I played. Like that I would spend more than 20, 30 minutes. Now I'll spend 20, 30 minutes playing chess against people around the world. By the way, the last couple of days I've been undefeated.
Nice.
Yeah. Very cool. I think that was it, huh?
Yeah, that's it for this week in tech history.
Awesome. Until next time.